Kaiju Pu here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro Signature Series Cloverfield monster. This figure is based on the movie Cloverfield, a 2008 found footage film following a group of New Yorkers through New York City. Whilst a monster the size of a skyscraper leaves nothing but death and destruction as it advances through the city. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. Seeing this creature rip through the city, causing complete destruction and instilling fear into those who reside within. This made this a classic and is one of my top 10 kaiju movies of all time. Hasbro did a great job capturing the beast and turning it into the figure that you see now. I absolutely love the details and overall paint job they gave this figure. This is easily one of my favorite figures in my collection, and I am truly blessed to have it. Before we get into this review, we must appreciate the packaging this figure comes with. The packaging features unique detailing, paying homage to the original poster used for advertisement. You will also notice the signatures of both Matt Reeves, the director, and J.J. Abrams, the producer. Once you remove the main cover, you're introduced to the display-styled backdrop built into the box. It features scenes from the movie, as well as the destroyed city for the figure to be displayed with. To start, we will take a look at the details this figure possesses. The paint applications complement the overall sculpt of this figure. Now, as much as I do like the paint applications, I do feel like in the feet and in the tail region it is overdone to the point where it doesn't even blend with the body, but that's just my personal opinion. Here are some stills highlighting the details and the color given to this figure. These pictures will highlight what I was talking about how I feel like the paint was overdone a little bit. Aside from the small issues I have with some of the paint applications, I will say that overall I'm satisfied with the way this guy came out. Included are instructions informing us what the features this creature contains. As you can see, there are accessories as well as some gimmicks that require AAA batteries for them to function. These I'll be covering later in the video. The first accessory that we will be taking a look at is the alternate head. This head is more of the relaxed, calm, neutral head that we see towards the end of the movie before we're face to face with this monster. This head is a great alternative if you're looking to get away from that more aggressive, roaring head that I had shown earlier. Overall, I think this looks great. I just would add a little bit more pink to the side membranes that we see in the movie. Now let's take a look at the Statue of Liberty head. Adding the Statue of Liberty's head as an accessory was a great idea. Seeing the head, right after it was thrown across the city, really sets the tone for what's to come. The oxidation paint applications are great, as well as the overall sculpt. Now we'll take a look at the parasite figures, which are contained in the alternate head. There are in total of 10 of these figures, and are very small. As you can clearly see, this is no bigger than a penny, and easily can be lost. There is not much painting to it, as it is just mostly of a wash. As you can see in the size comparison, the Cloverfield monster towers this little parasite, much like the movie. Once you install the AAA batteries, this is easily the best part of the figure to me. Now taking a look at the articulation that this figure has, we're starting with the head. The head is limited to a 360-degree turn. There's no side-to-side or up or down movement. This limits the display ability of this figure. The shoulder is a ratchet swivel joint. This allows for it to have forward and backward movement, as well as a 360-degree turn all the way around. Now moving on to what I'm going to call the elbow joint. This is another ratchet joint, as well as a 360-degree swivel. You would think with all the ratchet joints that this figure would be a little bit more sturdy, but unfortunately it does have some balance issues. Moving further down the leg, we're met with another ratchet joint. Again, this is a ratchet swivel combo. Now unfortunately, I didn't showcase this here. Seeing how that ratchet works there, if you turn or swivel the leg like so, you're able to articulate it the opposite direction, giving it more mobility. Who would have guessed another ratchet swivel joint? Now, I'm not too sure if this is the ankle or wrist, but whatever it may be, it allows for a 360-degree twist, as well as it to move forward and back, allowing for some nice organic poses. You can move about this far back and about this far forward. It's not too crazy, but it is still something. Who would have thought? Another ratchet joint. Now, as you can see, I struggled a little bit with the articulation, but still, the ratchet joint confirms it is sturdy and trustworthy. As you can see, the ratchet joints allow for some nice posability. And I did fail to mention that they're also on a swivel. Here's a quick showcase of the articulation that the hand and arm allows for. As you can see, you can get some nice poses out of them. More natural walking poses, that is. Now taking a look at the 2 extra extremities that this figure has. I'm not too sure the role it played, but I'm sure there's some lure that cover it. We have a nice ratchet swivel at the shoulder, and then at the elbow is a more rubberish hinge joint. Now, this hinge joint kind of reminds me of the same hinge joint that Jaguar uses for its Spartan Collection knees. A very weaker, softer type of joint, not something sturdy. As you can see, it moves after movement. I'm not entirely sure why they went with a softer plastic, as I would have preferred a hard plastic, but maybe it allowed for more organic movement, which I can understand. But in my opinion, a hard plastic would have been just fine. As you can see, the torso is on a swivel. It can go 360 degrees. It does have some lack of mobility due to it cannot move up or down at all or side to side. So you're kind of limited with what poses you can do. Moving on to the leg, taking a look at the hip joint, it only allows for a ratchet to go in a 360-degree turn. It does not have any hip hinge or allows for a spread at all. So you're kind of limited there too. The further down the leg we go, the least amount of articulation we get. As you can see, this ratchet joint is only allowing for limited knee movement. It doesn't get any better going down the leg, as it is almost the same exact movement you get from the knee. Now taking a look at the ankle joint, it is on a ratchet swivel, which allows to move down that far and up that far, and also allows for a 360-degree turn. You would think this would have an ankle pivot, but unfortunately, there's really no way of getting that from this figure. Like the front toes, you also get a hinge joint allowing for it to bend at the knuckles on the big toe. Unfortunately, for the smaller toe, it only bends slightly at the knuckle and nowhere else. And if I could be honest, this really doesn't bother me too much. You can't really expect much out of feet articulation besides maybe certain poses, but as this being a 4-legged monster, there's not really much you can expect for it to do on 2 legs. Now we will lastly take a look at the tail, which is articulated by a bendy wire within the sculpt. It does allow for some nice organic movement and poses. It holds in place pretty well, not really too much to say about it, and the detail, as we covered earlier, is fairly nice. With everything that we have covered in this review, my personal opinion on this figure is that it's definitely worth maybe the price point of back in the day, but the price point that you can currently get it at, it may be a little bit too steep. Unless you're a true collector, then you can't really put a price on something like this. I'll leave it up to you guys to create your own opinions on this guy. Tell me what you think. In conclusion, this is a dope piece to own. 15th year anniversary just passed. I thought it was a great idea to go ahead and pull this out and review it for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Take it easy. It's still alive.